So here we go for our second semi-final of the day. Again, it's Argentina against Spain. It's Zabaleta against Moya.
Prima partita al servizio Carlos Moya. Ready?
Moya to
play. 15.
I think the first serve percentage is going to be vital for both players, particularly Moya. Wins a lot of free points with it, certainly sets the point up a lot with it.
15.
And then it's going to be the forehand from the back of the court for as much of the time as possible. He's going to try and dictate with.
Fine, 15.
Zabaleta very much favours the forehand too from the back of the court. He's not got a bad backhand either. He used it yesterday very effectively down the line. And Moya, you can see, running around his backhand, so therefore the court was open for Zabaleta, taking full advantage of the fact. That's a fantastic shot, because Zabaleta does tend to stand a little bit deep behind the baseline on occasion. Moya seeing that. And Zabaleta fully expecting Moya to then cream another big forehand, but not on that occasion, just opening the angle of the racket face and playing the drop shot instead.
Drop Moya.
The big serve you were talking about.
Primo gioco, first game.
Certainly among his two best shots, his forehand and his serve. His great strengths. Because the serve's so good, he gets a lot of opportunities to unload on the forehand immediately. And the serve return comes back short.
That's what I'd be looking to do. I think today Zabaleta might have to block a lot of the returns back if Moya can get a high percentage of those first ones in. And the first game certainly bodes well, 83% in. So Zabaleta will be on the defensive thereafter if Moya can use that forehand. So that's what Zabaleta's got to try and counter. And therefore he's got to get a lot of first serves in. And he won't be afraid to come to the net either. Both of these players, in fact, exhibit very nice feel in the forecourt.
He has a habit of chucking up his left leg of his shorts before he serves every time.
La 15.
Now, have a look at his left leg of his shorts. He'll tuck it up. There it is, look. Every time. I don't know why he does it. It's just habit.
It's just for the ladies. As you would expect, both of these players love playing on clay, so therefore they both have exquisite feel when attempting to use the drop shot. Moya deep behind the baseline, so it was the right time. Zabaleta inside the baseline, so it was a high percentage shot. Executed very well indeed.
There goes the leg. masterly way he deals with approaches to the net. He just makes the player play an awkward shot by blocking it back low, not trying to hit a winner, but just saying, OK, now deal with that.
And it is very difficult sometimes to generate your own pace on the volley. On that occasion, Zabaleta trying to go short angle and just not quite opening the angle of the racket face enough. But on that occasion, he was able to execute it correctly. It was a little easier because it wasn't taken on the full. He had a little bit more time once the ball had bounced. You can see there just a subtle change of grip before executing the shot.
Quaranta-30, 40 seconds.
Well, I think the length off the backhand in particular will be important for both players. Moya on that occasion getting the ball nice and high over the net, forcing Zabaleta back behind a baseline. So already a little bit of concern on the face of Alexander Gatica.
Trusty web on the forehand. Didn't want to miss too many of those.
And again, it's a very big match for Zabaleta. It's been a long time since he was in a final of a Master Series event back in 1999 in Hamburg. So he would be desperate to make it through to Sunday's showpiece.
Moya.
And he'll have to do a little better than this. He's cast away his own serve.
Moya conduce 2 giochi a 0. Leads by 2 games to love.
Moya continuing where he left off last night against Pavel. In winning vein.
I think the thing that will frustrate Zabaleta the most is the fact that a couple of those errors came off the trusty forehand. It was working very well indeed yesterday. He beat Nicholas Massou in straight sets.
This man hits a very heavy ball off the ground.
Pari 15.
Now that might be a good idea. He's just not quite confident. What they'll have there is rackets at varying tensions usually. I'm surprised at this stage of the tournament that they're not all the same now, that he doesn't know what it is that he needs.
What he might need is why he's been missing those shots.
It's perfectly true. Often players will try and find a reason other than their own shortcomings. Over-revving a bit here, I think. Often, but you get a chance to break straight back against somebody as experienced as Moya, but here we are, 2 break points. But he has broken back. So there it is. Moya, having broken, loses his own serve, but he's still ahead. It's 2-1. Well, full marks to Zabaleta there. Buckling down to getting the serve back, that big Moya serve, which will be a key factor today. I agree with Jason there. I think the fact that he is now in the match, back in the match early on. I mean, if he'd gone to 3-love down and then struggled on his own next service game, that might have been a very nasty situation to be in against a Moya who is a front runner. So at this stage, he's back in the match. He must just believe in himself. It hasn't been a very good year for him so far. And it's great to see that he's beginning to find better form. Just talking to umpire Lotti here.
Televisión significa 15 segundos más.
Time.
Trying to make this an all-Argentine final.
Giocatori sono pronti, grazie. No! 15-0-15.
First time we've had two Argentines in a semi-final here since 1981. In those days, of course, it was the great Guillermo Vilas along with Jose Luis Clerc.
Quindi 15.
Waiting and pouncing as he goes in, but caught at his feet. That's where Moya is so clever. Both with the little block one, the chip one we saw earlier, and that one driven to the feet as he came in. There. This man won it. He was not going to take unnecessary risks. He was very good at that last night when Pavel was trying to extend the rallies.
It's going to be difficult for Zabaleta if he's going to allow Moya to play that many forehands from the back of the court. Fantastic anticipation by Moya. Once he'd managed to get that drop shot back, intelligently going down the line, he just figured that Zabaleta had to go cross court, but unfortunately went for a little too much here because Zabaleta hadn't followed that lob into the net, so any shot really would have got Moya back into the rally, scrambling around and just feeling that he was coming into the net, therefore that shot had to be nice and low. But little did he know.
We were just saying that not since 1981 there have been 2 Argentines in the semi-final here. But at Hamburg last year, I remember we had 4 Argentines in the semi-final. Filled all 4 places. Amazing.
Left. First service. Zabaleta.
Now, come on, Jason, tell us who those 4 were in Hamburg last year.
Well, obviously the champion was Moya, and he beat Caleri in the final, and the 2 losing semi-finalists were Gaudio and Nalbandian.
Full marks.
Thank you very much.
Love 15.
Well, not quite the same fluency that we saw last night. But I suggested then that perhaps he ought to arrange to have a match every morning as a warm-up to play an evening match. Lovely.
Well, great tennis, and played in a very good spirit as well. Moya here again dominating with the forehand, but excellent defence from Zabaleta, and some really good athletic ability too to be able to make the distance to get the drop shot back into court, but again anticipating that Moya was going to try and pass him, and Moya seeing it and just throwing up the lob.
30-15.
I don't think you could possibly expect Moya to play in the same form today as he did last time. He was absolutely untouchable.
Moya.
And the error from Zabaleta allowing Moya then a 3-2 lead in this first set. Good battle.
Well, sometimes it's an advantage, obviously, to play the best you can in a match, but the next day it can be difficult because you have the impression that you've reached a certain height in terms of your performance, and sometimes it can be very difficult to play that well again. And if you don't play that well, then you can start to get frustrated. So the expectation level really is the important thing for today's match. If Moya has that at a reasonable level, then I think obviously he's got an opportunity to win it. But if he feels like he should be playing as well as he did last night against Pavel, and anything less than that will not be good enough, then he certainly could get a little frustrated, and that's when Zabaleta will be looking to try and take advantage of the situation. So 1 break apiece. Back on serve. Both players now will have felt that they're in the match. They've got an idea of how they're hitting the ball. They've got an idea of how the opponent's hitting the ball. They've traded service breaks, and the match really He's ready to start in earnest. Two, three.
Quindi 0-15 left.
He's got to make sure that the Forster count doesn't get too high. 8 in total already for Moya. 6 of those on the forehand. Now you'd expect him to miss a few more on that side because that's the shot he tries to dictate with from the back of the court.
Trent 0-30 left. Left. First service.
Awful court position from Zabaleta throughout the rally. He had the initiative, but he handed it back to Moya by moving back from the net. That was the shot there, and then you'll see in his position here, he moved back behind the service line, so it gave Moya a lot of time not only to get the ball back in play, but then to approach the net himself. Zabaleta will be very frustrated.
Trent 30. Trent 30-14.
He's a little exasperated here. He's lost it.
He's got to be careful because if he attempts to play drop shots on all the important points in the match, it's a very risky strategy, and I think it's going to cost him dear. Moya was struggling in terms of his movement, and I think he wouldn't necessarily have got the ball back in play had the ball gone over, but that's all ifs and buts because it didn't, and it's cost Zabaleta his serve.
Ahead once more, remember, Moya led 2-love, was caught at 2-all.
Quindi 0-15 left.
I remember this boy when he was one of the world's best juniors, which he was back in '95. Number 1 in the world then at that junior level. Reaching for that slide into the shot and missing, he's hitting. But he was a good junior. He won the French Open Junior in his 18 year. And the Orange Bowl 18s, he beat Tommy Haas there. He won here in Italy, in fact, that year too. Italian Open champion.
Well, that's Moya at his best, really. Great footwork, getting forehands outside the single sideline on the left-hand side of his court, the right-hand side as we look, therefore giving Zabaleta a very small target area to hit into, trying to get to the weaker backhand.
Moya.
Making sure of his own delivery after breaking serve, like the book says. It's Moya. 5-2 first serve.
Well, Moya did manage to underline his superiority with holding serve. And the first serve percentage, very healthy indeed, as is the amount of points won when the first serve finds its mark. But as you would expect, Zabaleta is able to take advantage of the weaker Moya delivery. And more often than not, that's on the forehand. So Moya wants to keep that first serve percentage up nice and high if he's going to have continued success on serve. Zabaleta, on the other hand, apart from needing perhaps a trim on the old hair, needs to keep that first serve percentage up a little higher. 55%, not quite good enough, and it's not as effective as he would like either. And Moya certainly is getting after the second serve, winning only 33% of points there. So that's something that he desperately needs to work on.
Do you think we ought to send him for a short back and sides?
I think that would be most advisable. He certainly needs a bit of conditioner anyway.
There we are. He's fought through beautifully here, and the atmosphere today is absolutely magnificent, as it is when this excitable Italian crowd fill all 9,000 plus seats. All the seats have been sold for the last 2 days, but not all filled, largely because of the inclement weather. Still chilly. We've changed the tennis balls for the first time, and it's 2-5.
La 15. Quindi si pari 15.
We admired Mats Wilander when he was growing up, this lad, when he was the junior I was watching, and I think there are sort of echoes there, aren't there?
Yeah, many people did. Tremendous player. The Swede. Now the Davis Cup captain, of course.
Sort of whipped forehand that Wilander would have enjoyed hitting.
And very solid from the back of the court. Wilander was too. Excellent footwork. Used to hit a lot of forehands, as Zabaleta did so effectively there. That was a nice shot because you saw the height over the net, the amount of spin that he hit on that shot.
I think it's good. Yeah.
Romano being asked to come off his chair to check them out by Moya, but Moya says, no, go back, Romano, you were right. It was good. It's the one surface on which the players are able to challenge calls. By which I mean challenge, stop in the middle of a rally. As soon as the ball has bounced to a call that they don't agree with, they can stop and ask for it to be checked them out. He might ask for a check there. Zabaleta. A late call.
Grazie, Carlo.
I think Moya's saying, look, that was in.
Replay the point.
Service line judge not having much luck in this game.
He's not. So they'll play that.
Amazing, really, to see Moya struggling so much with the movement, slipping and sliding at the back of the court, but Zabaleta unable to take advantage of the fact that Moya did find himself in a bit of distress.
Left. First service. Vantaggio Zabaleta.
Absolute determination written into his features there. Got to keep this set alive. He may still break back. Got the yips here.
That's an exquisite shot from Moya. Needed to time it absolutely perfectly because he was moving through the ball. It was a good inside-out return, forced Zabaleta to play defensively, but that shot is not easy because it's skidding through and you have to then go in the opposite direction with the racket head, brushing it up the back of the ball in order to get the necessary topspin. Very confident shot.
He was doing that last night with his eyes closed.
Left first service. Vantaggio Zabaleta.
Yes, the look said it all, didn't it? Oh dear, having hit that other wonderful for him, why couldn't I do another in the same place? Oh, lovely depth there from Zabaleta, and this time taking advantage of the slipperiness of the surface. Moya not able to turn back
Moya conduce 5 giochi a 3.
and make a shot.
Leads by 5 games to 3.
Well, it's a good battle.
I think Moya deserves his advantage. Just played slightly tidier tennis than Zabaleta. Too many unforced errors for the Argentine. 15 in total, just 9 so far for Moya, and they've hit an equal number of winners, 6 each.
15-0. 15 left.
Standing well back. And Moya had noticed.
All good players have a real sense of where the opponent is at any given time. And it was a good deep serve. Zabaleta not taking the ball on the rise and moving to his right in order to cover the open court. Therefore, the shot was on.
40-0, 14.
So the error on the forehand has given Moya 3 set points. Over ambitious to say the least.
First set, Moya.
So Moya in just 31 minutes takes the opening set 6-3.
Deserves the opening set, Moya, just for playing slightly better than Zabaleta in terms of keeping the unforced error count nice and low and getting the balance right between doing enough with the ball to draw the error. Served very well too, and that's obviously really the cornerstone to his game plan. Big first serve, big forehand, so he'll be delighted with 71% of first serves finding their mark. 7 winners and 9 unforced errors, so a very good ratio there. Whereas Zabaleta, too many unforced errors, 17 in total, and the first serve percentage not high enough, so Moya able to take advantage of the Zabaleta second serve. And of course, it's always important to take advantage of any break point opportunities that come your way. And Moya 100% record in that opening set, 2 for 2. So I'm sure Moya will just want a little bit more of the same as the match progresses, but for Zabaleta, much improvement needed.
Yes, I think it does need improvement from Zabaleta. But Moya's pretty tough. Some Moya winners for you now from that set. How the set ended. Moya watching that drive volley disappear wide off the sideline.
Time.
Quite a buzz around this stadium today. And a good atmosphere. Big crowd has created. Just making sure the shoes are tight enough.
Seconda partita alla servizio Zabaleta.
Of course, those past victories of Moya will be at the back of Zabaleta's mind. Can't avoid that. And he'll go for all he's worth from here on. Here's the second set.
Quindi 0-15 left. First service. Point 0-13.
Nicely struck, a second ace for Zabaleta. What a difference when that first ball goes in.
All difference in the world, particularly for someone like Zabaleta. It really depends on that, because thereafter he can pick and choose with his favourite shot. He can also earn some free points, which is what he desperately needs to build up his confidence in this match.
Dopo Zabaleta, primo gioco, seconda partita. First game, second set.
Nice quick start in the second set. Just
been a little subdued for me, Zabaleta, when I've seen him play well here throughout the week, particularly against Henman and yesterday against Masu. He's often jogging between points, particularly at the end of a game. Exhibits a lot of positive body language, whereas today he hasn't really played well enough to be able to do that. So perhaps might be looking to get a little bit more pumped up at the beginning of this second set.
Quindi 0-15 left. Frente 0-30 left.
Moya is, of course, one of 9 Spaniards to finish in the top 10 since 1973. Costa, who we saw earlier, is another. Let's not forget that he was the first Spaniard to reach #1 in the world on the rankings.
Playing shots like that, he did, that's for sure.
Very true. And that, of course, ignores the days before 1973 with the ATP rankings began, because Manuel Santana was #1 at his time. In those days, some of the newspapers and journals used to issue rankings.
So how did they compile those lists then?
Well, they would compile those lists from the results of the players, just like they do today by computer. And people would have different opinions as to the value of the Grand Slams and Davis Cup, for instance, as against other tournaments. And they did differ slightly, the amateur rankings in the amateur days before 1968. But they were pretty similar. Lance Tingay of the Daily Telegraph issued one which was well respected. Lovely touch.
Now this is Zabaleta at his best. I think he's got to try and come into the net. He's got to try and exploit that Moya backhand. And he's doing so very successfully there. Nice anticipation coming around the outside edge of the ball. See the spin there. And enabled him to get the angle.
Well, there's a bit more animation for you now, Jason, in his movement. He's bouncing a bit.
Well, that's exactly when he plays his very best. Accuracy was spot on. It needs to be when you're playing against somebody who's playing as well as Moya.
Zabaleta thought he'd served an ace, I think. No, just right. Tapping the computer. There you are. A little handheld computer. It's operated by touch screen. It carries the information of the score to all points of the compass, including the internet. haven't tried it, it's worth logging on to the website of ATP and the Masters Series and following live scores. Particularly if you're having a quiet day at the office. He doesn't want to squander this 40-love lead. He's already made 2 errors. Yeah. Perhaps in his mind he'd already won the game. It often happens.
The forehand has been misfiring today, and I think that's the one thing that will hurt his confidence most when your best shot isn't working as well as you would like. It's very, very difficult to concentrate on the job in hand of winning the match.
What touch there from Moya.
Well, it was so good. He gave the ball a lot of air, but it was absolutely perfect. A lot of slice on the ball. So look when it bounces. It actually bounces and then checks. So it makes life very difficult for Zabaleta because he's so close to the net when he makes contact with the ball. Eventually gets it over, but after about 8 hits.
I was going to say, only allowed 1 hit, I'm afraid. Well, full marks. He had the courage to go for his shots after squandering the 40-love lead.
Back to basics. Big kick serve, big forehand into the space. That's what he does best.
Up goes the leg of the shorts again. The master at work.
Well, the last shot was what the fans were applauding, but the backhand was absolutely fantastic. He was under extreme pressure to get that ball down lower than the height of the net. It was quite superb. Zabaleta unable to do enough with that ball, and Moya easily finishing the point thereafter.
And again, you'll have to hand it to Zabaleta. Bravery there. He's trying to be positive at the right times.
I think he's got to stick with that game plan of trying to come into the Moya backhand, because he's not going to win the match, I don't think, from the back of the court.
No. You could see he missed it as soon as he hit it, and he knew it. And frustration for the coaches, those sort of situations, aren't they?
Because it's not the shot to play. He's got to try and get out of this game somehow, and he's got to do it by playing sensible tennis and simple tennis well. And the drop shot from that position just simply wasn't on.
He's got away with it. I don't know how.
One of the worst attempts at a drop shot I've seen all week, if not all year. It was awful. Landed just inside the service line, but Moya going cross-court with the approach shot, unbelievably, and Zabaleta therefore was able to eventually win the point. Don't know how, though.
Another of those protracted games. 8 minutes it's lasted. You're right about that forehand letting him down today, because he relies utterly upon making enough of them to hurt the opposition, and he's only hurting himself.
It's 13 so far in the match. Way too many unforced errors off that side. Frustration is evident because you can see how effective it is when it goes in. Good pattern of play, going back behind Moya, who's had problems moving. Slippery when he gets caught deep behind the baseline. So he's close to playing well, but not quite there yet.
Well done. Yes, a triumph for Zabaleta there. A triumph of persistence. A little careless when he was 40 love up, but never mind. About 9 minutes it took him to lead 2-1.
Leads by 2 games to 1.
Zabaleta eventually holding serve. It was a very important game. The longer it lasted, the more significant it became. Zabaleta raising his hands in triumph at the end, because he really had to work hard, using the forehand to good effect on the last point. He is very strong overhead. He does like coming into the net for somebody that plays much of his tennis on clay courts. Look at the intense concentration, watching the ball as clearly as possible. It was good anticipation by Moya, figuring that Zabaleta was going to put a little bit of slice on the smash, therefore it was going to go to the forehand. But that's the shot which likes to hurt the opposition with, the forehand inside out. Again, watching the ball as closely as ever. Nice shoulder rotation and good pronation of the wrist. Finally, Olsen.
Well, I think he deserves a good swing after that tough game. 9 minutes of effort. 5 deuces there have been. So no breaks yet this set. And Romano asking the crowd to settle. 1-2.
Quindi 15.
Just knocking the dust out of the pattern and the sole so that the grip can be maintained.
Quindi ci pare 15.
Seeing him play football with that one, the players love to have informal games of football in their off periods. We saw them at Indian Wells, mostly South Americans and Spaniards. I seem to remember seeing Zabaleta with nifty footwork.
Yeah, a very skillful player, but a little selfish on occasion. It wasn't really a team player. Made all the glory for himself.
And having watched the ferocity with which they tackled one another in those informal football matches, it made me wonder whether it was wise to let them if you're a coach.
Oh, I was amazed.
I suppose the reason why the coaches didn't interfere was that they wanted to play too.
2 giochi per, 2 games.
So 2-all. Goes the left leg of the shorts again.
A fantastic second serve, and then playing the point superbly thereafter, going wide and then taking Moya out of court with the short angle slice, keeping the ball low, forcing the Spaniard just to be able to put up the lob as his only option in terms of shot selection and dealing with it very comfortably indeed.
Fine, 0-30 left. There we
are. Third ace.
Zabaleta.
And a very easy service game for the Argentine.
Zabaleta conduce 3 giochi a 2.
Making a real scrap of this now. He's leading 3-2, second set.
Well, it's a good service game by Zabaleta, but he's still got to try and deal with the Moya serve, and it's obvious when using TMI as to what tactics Moya's using on serve, just peppering a Zabaleta backhand, and why not? Because that's without a doubt his weakest shot from the back of the court. And if we swing that back and take a look to see what Zabaleta is trying to do with the return, we'll see that he's letting the ball come to him, and then he's just trying to get the ball back as deep as possible, but he's not really varying those tactics. I think it might be useful for Zabaleta to step up the court, particularly on the Moya second serve, to try and take the ball as early as possible. But you can see how effective that kick serve to the outside is in taking Zabaleta out of court, because then it opens up the court for Moya either to go into the space or to go back behind the Argentine. So perhaps a little bit of thinking for Zabaleta to do in terms of tactics on the return of serve, if he's going to be more effective breaking the Moya delivery.
Well, still keeping that hair in check with the cap. Carlos Moya here, who's had a very interesting career. Of course, like all the Spaniards, he had to do his month of compulsory military training. He did that in 1997. A couple of years later, he was named by People magazine one of the 50 most beautiful people in the world. Was Carlos. And then he launched his own cologne in Madrid in 2000. Its slogan, "Life is the most exciting game." Well, I hope he sold a lot of bottles of his perfume, his cologne.
The element of surprise working well for Zabaleta. Moya expecting him to go cross court, but just varying his tactics nicely at just the right time.
Hold. Finishing by 15.
The trouble with standing so deep behind the baseline to return serve is if you don't make a good return, it's always very difficult to play the remainder of the rally 8 feet behind the baseline.
Done it again. Off balance. Amazing.
Well, his feel is exquisite, and again it's because Zabaleta is playing so deep in the court. Got no chance to make the distance there, to even offer a shot.
Whoa! 40-15, 40-15. Trenta, 40-30. Signori, per cortesia.
He's looking animated.
It's much better body language from Zabaleta because it was a much better return of serve. Again, Moya expecting, because he was so far wide of the court, for Zabaleta to go cross-court, but not on that occasion.
Well, is this going to be Moya's?
Vantaggio Zabaleta.
His dad looking a little anxious. Is it going to be Moya's? Loss of concentration that sometimes happens with him. Didn't yesterday, but he was 40-15, now break point down. Balloon.
You can't believe he missed that forehand. He's worked so hard in the game. His backhand has been superb, and you would fully expect him to make that shot, and he can't believe it either.
You could hear the miss hit, couldn't you? Didn't make the right noise on the racket strings.
Vantaggio Moya.
It is a frustrating game, this. Managed it at last.
He did well. He worked very hard indeed to stay in the rally. He was slightly fortunate because he did go cross-court off the drop shot, but Zabaleta not doing enough with the attempted lob. And Moya able to deal with the overhead very comfortably.
Time to catch his breath. Thrill.
0-15, last 15.
He served pretty well today. Just a second double fault, but I think Harper Gatica will be pretty happy about the serving.
Let's second serve.
He won't if this is another double fault. Tactics from Moya.
And poor tactics from Zabaleta. He's overused the drop shot, in my opinion, today. Instead of just playing a simple approach shot to Moya's backhand, forcing the Spaniard to come up with something pretty good in order to win the point. He hands the initiative back to Moya by bringing him into the net. Very, very good overhead and making no mistake on the last shot of the rally.
Quindi 30, 15, 30.
It's Moya's turn to look annoyed with himself. It was a really makeable shot. He seemed to rush it, that forehand. Rush of blood to the head there. What is he doing?
15, 40, 15, 40.
Awful service game. Started with that double fault because that didn't help. 2 break points.
No. 30, 40, 30, 40.
But he does need a really good first delivery here. This camp will be hoping Moya can get his break. Was it going to be in or out? He had to decide at the last minute, and it's cost him a serve. So there it is, the first break in this second set, and it is to Moya. He is fourth.
It's a good effort by Moya, but Zabaleta will be kicking himself because he made too many unforced errors. He had the upper hand in this last rally. Moya dropping the return short. Again, that was short. This was a good tactic by Zabaleta coming into the net, but once he saw he was under pressure there, no real need to go for such an acute short-angle volley, which is what I'm sure he was trying to attempt, but it was a good backhand by Moya under pressure, getting the ball again lower than the height of the net. So Zabaleta, as is his wont, trying to use the forehand to outmaneuver Moya. Look at the intense concentration and focus, realizing that's a good time to come in. But Moya thinks, yeah, he is going to come in, so I'm going to drop the ball low and short, something that he's done very effectively throughout the match, and drawing the error from Zabaleta. Moya knows that that could be a very, very important moment in the match.
Well, Moya, with his break of serve, very cleverly hitting a teaser down the line that might have been in, might have been out. Zabaleta had to make an instant decision, and I think hesitating ever so slightly missed the volley. Well, the crowd really enjoying this. I think they want to see Moya through. It's new balls.
15-0. 15 left.
Now the forehand's finding its mark.
Well, he's very good from the back of the court, but when he's got a target, sometimes he's even better. He had plenty of time to get set up there. Zabaleta moving to his right in order to try and cover the cross-court shot, but that wasn't the shot Moya chose. Again, Zabaleta moving back from the net to behind the service line. That made his job all the more difficult because he actually played a pretty good drop volley here. But then from there, you'll see him move back behind the service line, and that gave Moya a lot more court to hit into, and it made Zabaleta's life a lot more difficult when he was trying to create an angle off the volley.
Moya.
Yes, a very, very good service game from Moya.
Moya conduce 5 giochi a 3. Leads by 5 games to 3.
To rub it in, the fact that he'd just broken. Now just 4 points away from the final here.
Signori, per cortesia. Per favore.
It's always a little disconcerting when the first drops of rain start to fall in any match, but particularly when it's so close to what could be the end of it. So Moya needs to maintain his concentration here.
30-0, 30 left.
Well, from Zabaleta's point of view, this is perfect. Exactly what he has to do in this difficult position, being a breakdown, a convincing service game. And it is convincing thanks to Moya's apparent switch off there. He didn't really seem to be competing in that game, Moya, but he'll be serving for the match in just a moment.
Well, Zabaleta now with it all to do. He's got to ask Moya a couple of serious questions in his next service game, and he needs to have the best possible chance of doing that is to win one of the first 2 points, particularly if he gets a look at his second serve. So therefore, for Moya, the first serve percentage is going to be so important, as it is in any service game really, but particularly when you get a little bit tight and you're serving for the match. And the rain now starting to fall just a little heavier, and the players are going to have to try and maintain their concentration as all the umbrellas go up in the crowd. This happened in the first semi-final this afternoon as well. Just looking towards the heavens to see whether it looks like it's going to be a long rain delay. It doesn't really, because there's lots of blue sky up above. There's just the occasional cloud has started to rain.
Nobody quite sure whether the rain is going to get heavier or ease off. We're hoping it's going to ease off, and I think it is, because it's broken sky. In fact, it already seems to have stopped. I think they'll put the umbrellas down now. But what a week it's been for weather. And Moya here cheered to the echo by this crowd. He's very popular. Remember, this is his first semi-final here. He's been in the semi-finals in 7 of the 9 Master Series tournaments, but never before here. Well, Moya is having a good look, and I think he's going to ask Romano Gallotti to come and check it. He's not giving an opinion, just asking him to look. Out, says Romano. Bad luck on Nalbandian. On Zabaleta, excuse me. Wrong Argentine.
15.
He's the man that the winner here will play tomorrow.
Point 0-13.
Well, getting quite excited, the Moya camp now.
0-14 left.
And with some justification, 3 match points.
Go! 40-15, 40-15.
Just getting a little ahead of himself there, Moya. Got a chance to redeem himself, though, here.
That's it.
Partita incontro Moya. 2 partite 0-6-3-6-4.
So the family applaud, the coaches embrace, and so do the players. A nice match played in good spirit, and Moya through to the final here for the first time. 6-3, 6-4, an hour and 17 minutes.
He played very well indeed, Moya, really, throughout the match. Not as well as he did last night when he demolished Andrei Pavel, but good enough. It was Zabaleta's unforced errors, really, that hurt the Argentine, so he departs after what will be a very good week in terms of prize money and Champions Race points for Zabaleta, and he will be delighted as he moves on to Hamburg. But there's still a little bit of work to do for Moya and Nalbandian, because they will be taking part in Sunday's showpiece final.
And for Moya, it is his 6th Master Series final. He's won 2 of them and lost in 3 other finals. He'll have a chance to improve on that tomorrow.
Well, the tale of the tape really is all about Moya. First serve percentage was excellent and kept his unforced errors down nice and low, just 17 in total. Managed to fashion 12 winners as well, many of those off the forehand, and took advantage of 3 of his 5 break points. So you couldn't really ask for much more as far as Moya was concerned. Zabaleta never served well enough to really get into the match, made way too many unforced errors, so he'll be disappointed, because he did play some of his finest tennis this week against Henman and Massou in particular. So Moya, if he can play as well as that tomorrow, will have an excellent chance of raising the trophy, but I think it will be a little tougher than it was today when he takes on another Argentine, David Nalbandian.